Welcome back, dear students. After quantitative inheritance, now in this lecture we are going to study the cytoplasmic inheritance. Though the genes of nuclear chromosomes have a significant and key role in the inheritance of almost all traits from generation to generations, but they altogether cannot be considered as the sole vehicles of inheritance because certain experimental evidences suggest the occurrence of extranuclear genes or a DNA molecules in the cytoplasm of many prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So up to this stage we studied the role of nuclear genes that has been resides on the chromosome in the inheritance of almost all traits from generation to the generation. But in addition to this, certain extranuclear genes or the DNA molecules that has been present in the cytoplasm of eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells also plays a significant and key role in the inheritance of the traits from generation to generation. So the genes of the nuclear chromosomes cannot be considered as the sole vehicle of the inheritance. In addition to this, certain extranuclear genes or the DNA molecules that has been present in the cytoplasm of the cell also plays a key role in the inheritance. So there are two types of genes we say here. The genes that has been present in the nucleus, these are the nuclear genes or the genes of nuclear chromosomes. Some are extranuclear other than the nuclear genes. These are extra nuclear genes or the DNA molecules. So it is present in the cytoplasm. So genes are present in the nuclear chromosomes, and also the genes has been present on the extranuclear DNA. So the extranuclear genes or a DNA molecule that has been present in the cytoplasm of the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells plays a key role in the inheritance. So such type of inheritance we are going to study in this lecture, that is the cytoplasmic inheritance. Why it is a cytoplasmic inheritance? Because this transmission of the characters from generation to generation has been controlled by the cytoplasmic genes. These are also called as extranuclear genes. It is a extranuclear DNA molecule that has been present in the cytoplasm of prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. For example, the bacterial cells such as E. coli possesses single main chromosome in the nucleus. Okay. And in addition to this, it often contains extra DNA element called plasmid in the cytoplasm. So this extranuclear DNA molecule that we call it as a plasmid in E. coli has played a significant and key role in the inheritance of the characters from generation to generation. So this plasmid DNA, it is the extranuclear DNA that has been present in the cytoplasm and plays a key role in the inheritance. So this is the one of the example of cytoplasmic inheritance. So here a bacterial cell, for example E. coli, possesses the single main chromosome that we called as a nuclear chromosomes. Here in prokaryotic cell, for example E. coli, there is not a true nucleus. Here is a primitive nucleus has been present, so we call it as a nucleoid like the nucleus. So such chromosomes has been present in the nucleoid that we call it as a nuclear chromosome. But in addition to this, the E. coli cell possesses extra DNA element called as the plasmid in the cytoplasm. So this is a extra nuclear genes or the DNA that has been present in the cytoplasm that plays a key role in the cytoplasmic inheritance. Another one example is the eukaryotic cell possesses a main complement of the chromosome in the nucleus and extra DNA molecules are the chromosomes in their mitochondria and chloroplast. So mitochondria and chloroplast, these are the cytoplasmic organelles present in the cytoplasm. So these organelles also possesses the DNA molecule. So we call it as extra DNA molecule or the chromosome that has been present in the mitochondria and chloroplast. So two types of chromosomes here. Some are present in the nucleus. These are the nuclear chromosomes, and some are extra nuclear or extra DNA molecules. This has been present in the mitochondria, for example in the cytoplasmic organelle, mitochondria and chloroplast. Okay, so in addition to this, as extra hereditary elements are certain viruses, bacteria and algae that are also found in the cell. So this is the inheritance of the extra chromosomal DNA that we called as a cytoplasmic inheritance. So in both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell, some extra nuclear DNA or the genes has been present in the cytoplasm, and that plays a significant and key role in the inheritance of the character from generation to the generation. These cytoplasmic extranuclear genes or the DNA molecules of plasmids, mitochondria and chloroplast have a characteristic pattern of inheritance which does not resemble with that of the genes of nuclear chromosomes and is known by different terms such as non-Mendelian inheritance, non-chromosomal inheritance, uniparental inheritance, maternal inheritance, extra chromosomal inheritance, cytoplasmic inheritance or extranuclear inheritance. So these are the names given to this type of inheritance as non-Mendelian, non-chromosomal, uniparental, maternal, extra chromosomal, cytoplasmic and extranuclear inheritance. So why these different terms has been used? Because this type of inheritance does not follow the Mendelian ratios. Okay, so it is a non-Mendelian. It is non-chromosomal because these genes has been present in the cytoplasm. They are not resides on the nuclear chromosomes. So these are non-chromosomal. Uniparental, here the maternal parent contributes more cytoplasm during the formation of the zygote. So it is uniparental or maternal. Extra chromosomal, it is present in addition to the chromosomal DNA in the cytoplasm. So it is extra chromosomal. It is cytoplasmic because these genes has been present in the cytoplasm. For example, in the mitochondria, in the chloroplast, it is a extra nuclear. So these genes are present in the mitochondria and chloroplast outside of the nucleus. So these are extra nuclear inheritance. So the various names has been given to the cytoplasmic inheritance as non-Mendelian, non-chromosomal, uniparental, maternal, extra chromosomal, cytoplasmic and extranuclear inheritance. Okay, got it? Now the definition of the cytoplasmic inheritance. The characters of an organism is controlled or inherited by extra chromosomal or non-nuclear DNA independently is known as cytoplasmic inheritance. So from the above discussion, we can construct the definition of the cytoplasmic inheritance as the characters of an organism is controlled or inherited by extra chromosomal DNA, or it is a extra nuclear DNA, non-nuclear DNA independently. So it is known as cytoplasmic inheritance, or in simple way we can say the inheritance of the characters in an organism has been controlled or inherited by the extra chromosomal or non-nuclear DNA independently. It is known as cytoplasmic inheritance. The chloroplast and the mitochondria are the cell organelles that contain their own DNA. So the DNA it is present in the chloroplast, it is called as cpDNA. Mitochondria, mtDNA. So the chloroplast and mitochondria are the cell organelles that contain their own DNA and protein synthesizing machinery or the apparatus. So these cell organelles can perform their function by utilizing the protein synthesizing machinery and its own DNA present in the cell organelles. So three types of DNA has been present in the cell. One is the nuclear DNA, another one is the chloroplast DNA, and third one is the mitochondrial DNA. So the chloroplast and mitochondrial DNA are the extra chromosomal DNA or a extra nuclear DNA, or these are the non-nuclear DNA present in the cytoplasm of the cell, and they inherited certain characters of the organisms independently. So it is known as cytoplasmic inheritance. The cytoplasmic or extranuclear inheritance of color in plant by plastid was first of all described by C. Correns in 1908 in the 4 o'clock plant Mirabilis jalapa. So in this plant, here the extranuclear inheritance or the cytoplasmic inheritance of color of the plastid in the plant has been first described by the Correns in 1908. So here this example we taken for the discussion of inheritance of the cytoplasmic traits. So cytoplasmic inheritance in variegated 4 o'clock plant Mirabilis jalapa. So the cytoplasmic or the extranuclear inheritance of color in plant by plastid was described by the Correns in 1908 in the 4 o'clock plant, that is Mirabilis jalapa. In contrast to the other higher plant, Mirabilis contain 3 types of leaves and plants. So the first one is the full green leaves. So why the leaves are green? Because of the presence of chlorophyll pigment, and these chlorophyll pigments are present in the plastid. So such plastids we called as chloroplast. So the full green leaves are the branches that possesses chloroplast. The second one type is the white or pale leaves and branches having no chloroplast. So these leaves are devoid of or without the chlorophyll pigments. So such plastids are referred as leucoplast. So these white leaves or the pale leaves and branches having no chloroplast, they are without chloroplast. And third one is the variegated branches. So this word is important. Variegated means there are certain variations in the plastids having leucoplast that possesses, that is without the chlorophyll. It is leucoplast in white areas and chloroplast in the green patches. So 3 types of leaves and plant part has been seen in the Mirabilis jalapa. One is the full green leaves because of the chloroplast. One is white or pale leaves because of the leucoplast, and third one is the variegated branches. So the same leaves consist of green part and the white areas because of the presence of chloroplast and leucoplast respectively. So these white areas are due to the leucoplast and green patches are due to the chloroplast. So both the conditions has been seen in the variegated branches. Some branches are full green leaves because of the chloroplast. Some are white because of leucoplast. There is no chloroplast. Some are variegated means the leaves possesses white areas and green patches. These white areas are due to the leucoplast and green patches are due to the chloroplast. So 3 types of leaves has been seen in the Mirabilis jalapa. So here we are going to study the cytoplasmic inheritance in variegated 4 o'clock plant. So here variegated branches were considered here for studying the cytoplasmic inheritance. Okay, got it? These 3 types of leaves and parts: full green leaves because of the chloroplast, white leaves because of the leucoplast or it is without chloroplast, and variegated branches due to both chloroplast and leucoplast. Okay, because the chlorophyll pigment of the chloroplast, it is related with the photosynthesis of the food, that we know the role of the chlorophyll pigment in the process of photosynthesis, and leucoplast are incapable to perform photosynthesis because it do not contain chlorophyll pigment. So the white or pale parts of the plant survive by receiving nourishment from the green plants. Because this green part possesses chlorophyll pigment, it possesses the chlorophyll pigment of the chloroplast which perform the process of photosynthesis where the food material has been synthesized, while the white patches possesses the leucoplast which are incapable to perform photosynthesis. So for survival they depends on the green part for receiving nourishment. Correns reported that flowers on green branches produces only green offspring regardless of the genotype and the phenotype of the pollen parent. Whatever the pollen parent, whether it is derived from the white branches or the variegated branches, the flowers on green branches produces only green offsprings. Likewise, flowers from white or pale branches produces only white or pale seedlings regardless of genotype and phenotype of the pollen parent. The plant developing from the white or pale seedlings die. Why they are died? Because they do not possess the chlorophyll pigments. It possesses the leucoplast. It is without the chlorophyll. So it do not able to perform the process of photosynthesis. So because of they lack chlorophyll, they cannot carry the process of photosynthesis. So due to this, the plant developing from the white or pale seedlings are died. Okay, so the flowers from white or pale branches produces only white or pale seedlings regardless of the genotype and phenotype of the pollen parent. So two facts we are known here. The flowers from green branches produces only green progeny, while the flowers from white or pale branches produces only white or pale progeny regardless of the genotype and phenotype of the pollen parent. Furthermore, the plant developing from the white or pale seedlings are died because they lack chlorophyll pigments, so they cannot carry on photosynthesis. Now, Corens further reported that flowers from the variegated branches yield mixed progeny of green, white and variegated plants in widely varying ratios. So here these variegated branches consist of both types of plastid, that is the leucoplast and chloroplast. So as a result of this, it produces mixed progeny of green because of the chloroplast, white because of the leucoplast and variegated because of both leucoplast and chloroplast. It produces three types of progeny: green, white and variegated. The irregularity of the transmission from variegated branches could be understood by considering cytoplasmic genes or the plasma genes of the plastid. A study of the egg cell during oogenesis in Mirabilis reveals that the ooplasm contains plastids like cytoplasm of other plant cells. So this ooplasm that possesses which type of plastid, whether it possesses the chloroplast and or leucoplast, so it determines the transmission of the character of whether the progeny is green or it is white. If it possesses the chloroplast, the progeny is green. If it possesses the leucoplast, the progeny is white. If it possesses both chloroplast and leucoplast, the progeny is variegated, means it consists of green, white and variegated. Okay. So here, if the egg cell derived from green plant tissues, its ooplasm will contain colored plastid, that is the chloroplast. If egg cell derived from the white plant tissue, its ooplasm will contain white plastid, that is the leucoplast. So it depends on which tissue the female ooplasm has been derived. If it is derived from green plant tissue, its ooplasm contain chloroplast, that is the colored plastid. If the egg cell has been derived from the white plant tissue, its ooplasm will contain white plastid, that is the leucoplast. And if it is derived from variegated tissue, its cytoplasm may contain colored plastid, white plastids only, or a mixture of colored and white plastid, because these variegated branches possesses white patches, it possesses green patches and white areas. These green patches are due to the chloroplast and the white areas are due to the leucoplast. So when the egg cell has been derived from the variegated tissue, its cytoplasm may contain some egg cell contain colored plastids only, that is the chloroplast, some contain white plastids only, that is the leucoplast, while some cytoplasm consists of a mixture of both chloroplast and leucoplast. Okay. A study of the pollenogenesis, that is the formation of the pollen grain, however, revealed that pollen contains very little cytoplasm, which in most cases is devoid of plastid, that is it is without of the plastid. The pollen cannot affect this aspect of the offspring's phenotype. So this offspring's phenotype has been determined by the cytoplasm of the egg cell, because the pollen contains very little cytoplasm, and which in most cases is without the plastid. So the pollen cannot affect the inheritance of the offspring's phenotype. It is determined by the female parent only. It is determined by the egg cell only. So it is called as maternal inheritance, because maternal parent, or for example egg cell, contributes more cytoplasm during the formation of the zygote. So the female parent determines the phenotype of the offspring. So it is also called as maternal inheritance or uniparental inheritance. So here we are going to study the mitotic segregation. So what happened during the formation of the egg cell? The variegated branches of the Mirabilis jalapa produces three kinds of egg cell. Some contain only white chloroplast, that is leucoplast, some only green chloroplast, and some contain both type of chloroplast, that is white plastids and colored plastids. Okay. So in the subsequent mitotic divisions, some form of the cytoplasmic segregation occurs that segregate the chloroplast types into pure cell lines, thus producing variegated phenotype in the progeny individuals. So after mitotic segregation, when the egg cell contain only white chloroplast, then the progeny it is white. When the egg cell contain only green chloroplast, then the progeny is green. And when the egg cell contain both types of chloroplast, the progeny is variegated. Variegated means the leaves shows green patches and white areas, because the egg cell possesses both type of plastid, that is the leucoplast and chloroplast. Okay. So in this table we can more clearly seen the cytoplasmic inheritance pattern in the variegated 4 o'clock plant. So in this table here, this is the male parent, this one is the female parent, and this is the progeny. Okay. So three columns are seen in the table. In the first column, here is the branch of origin of the male parent. In the second column, branch of origin of the female parent. And after the fusion of the pollen grain and the egg cell, the progeny derived, it is whether it is a green, it is a white or variegated. Okay. So here the first example we can see here. Here the male parent, it has been derived from the green branch. It is fused with the female parent, that is also derived from the green branch. The progeny is green. In the second example, here the egg cell has been derived from the pale or white branch. The pollen, it has been derived from the green branch, but the resultant progeny, it is pale or white. There is no any dominance or the codominance. It simply depends on the fact that the egg cell has been derived from the pale or white branch, due to which the progeny is pale or white. In the third example, here the egg cell has been derived from the variegated branch. The pollen has been derived from the green branch, but the progeny, it is a mixed type. It is a green, pale or white and variegated, because this egg cell that has been derived from the variegated branch possesses both type of chloroplast. It possesses the chloroplast, because of which the leaves are green. It also possesses the leucoplast, because of which the leaves are pale or white. Because of the presence of both chloroplast and leucoplast, the leaves are variegated. So some egg cell contain chloroplast, some egg cell possesses leucoplast, and some egg cell possesses both chloroplast and leucoplast. So because of which the progeny is green, pale or white and variegated. In the second example, here the pollen has been derived from the pale or white branches, while the egg cell has been derived from the green branches. So in this case the progeny is green because the egg cell has been derived from the green branch. The egg cell contributes more cytoplasm. It is the cytoplasmic inheritance. So because of which the progeny is green. When the egg cell has been derived from the pale or white branches, the progeny is obviously pale or white. But when the egg cell has been derived from the variegated branches, then the progeny is of mixed type. These variegated branches possesses both type of plastid, chloroplast and leucoplast. So because of some egg cell possesses only the chloroplast, the progeny is green. When the egg cell possesses only the leucoplast, the progeny is pale or white. And when the egg cell possesses the both chloroplast and leucoplast, the progeny is variegated, means the leaves shows green patches and white areas. In the third case, here the male parent has been derived as it is variegated. The pollen has been derived from the variegated branches. Here the female parent, it is green. The pollen, the egg cell has been derived from the green branches, then the progeny is green. When the egg cell is derived from the pale or white branches, the progeny is pale or white. And third one is when the egg cell is derived from the variegated, then the progeny is pale or white, green and variegated. So this egg cell, the cytoplasm of the egg cell determines the phenotype of the offspring, whether it is a green, pale or white and variegated. So these three phenotypes, these three types of leaves and branches in the Mirabilis jalapa has been inherited by the cytoplasmic genes that has been present in the plastids. So whether the cytoplasm possesses the chloroplast, the progeny is, when the cytoplasm of the egg cell possesses the chloroplast, the progeny is green. If it is possesses the leucoplast, the progeny is pale or white. And if it is possesses both chloroplast and leucoplast, the progeny is variegated. So this is the cytoplasmic inheritance in variegated 4 o'clock plant, that is the Mirabilis jalapa. So this is all about for today. The cytoplasmic inheritance in mitochondria we will study in the next lecture. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.